All right, now we're going to look at lesson 190. The line is, I choose the joy of God instead of pain. Ah, yes. It says pain is a wrong perspective when it is experienced in any form, emotional, physical, anything. It is a proof of self-deception. It is not a fact at all. There is no form it takes that will not disappear if seen aright. All right. When a few weeks ago my ankle went through all the stuff it started to go through, people kept saying, oh, that must hurt. Well, most of the time, no. It would tell me, it would send signals that didn't feel like pain. They felt like, oh, okay, you don't want that attention, or you don't want that angle, or whatever. It's about, what it, if I had been trained to think that that signal was pain, I would have called it pain, but I have trained myself not to think of it as pain because it doesn't serve me to think of it as pain. There's all kinds of stress that goes with pain. There's all kinds of fear that goes with pain. And this was simply, there was a little bit of an angle or a little bit of a twitch or a little bit of a tweak, a little bit of a pinch or a little bit of a something that did not hurt. And believe me, I do know what pain feels like, and I do avoid it. But when it is here, whenever we're trying to, when we find ourselves in the middle of it, literally it is about wrong perception. And if we can see what it is, then we are going to be done with it. So pain proclaims God cruel, and therefore how could it be real? All right. So when the body is giving us a signal that we call pain, what we are saying is we are the body. We are saying that the body is is what's real, okay? When in fact it is our soul, our spirit that is real. And this is part of how Jesus accomplished some of the things he accomplished in the crucifixion and the resurrection. This is how fakirs in throughout the Arab world and in India were able to accomplish what they've been accomplished. Many yogis, etc. Okay, they recognize that it is not there. It is not real. Okay, in the second paragraph, asks a bunch of questions. Third, the questions, can they be anything but wholly false? Pain is but witness to the son's mistakes and what he thinks he is. It's a dream of retaliation. The next paragraph, pain is a sign that illusions reign in place of truth. And I absolutely got that when I was going through what I went through. And as I've shared with some of you, the morning, by 36 hours after the step into darkness that caused everything to get twisted, the step itself was because I was clearly off balance, not centered, not in truth. And the experience over the next 36 hours was to bring myself back into that. And I was fine. Both feet were fine. The ankles were fine. Everything was fine. And then something triggered my getting off balance again for a few hours. And so I ended up with one of them going through the natural cycle of healing rather than the spiritual shift that happens when we know that such things have to be illusions. They can't possibly be real. And all of that was a great lesson for me, and I hope it's been useful for other people as well. All right, so if we go in that paragraph, if pain is real, there's no God, vengeance is not part of life, da-da-da. God would not create something that experienced or could experience pain. All right, so clearly we must be making this up because it isn't what's real. Okay, the body is the Son of God, corruptible in death, as mortal as the Father. What? No, 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 no. Okay, the body is nothing. The body is simply showing us what our consciousness is right now. So if we go down a couple more paragraphs, the next one is peace to such foolishness and goes on from there. But the next one says, it is your thoughts alone that cause you pain. Nothing external to your mind can hurt or injure you in any way. This is a tough lesson in our culture. It is a major lesson taught to every child in most indigenous cultures. Pain is not even an issue in some indigenous cultures. Pain is taught to be gotten over in other indigenous cultures. But it is clear that it has nothing to do with who we truly are. Okay? There is no cause, in the next sentence, there is no cause beyond yourself that can reach down and bring oppression. Only our minds, only our ego minds can create that experience, can miscreate, can make that experience happen. Okay? No one but yourself affects you. Now, we've had a lot of pointers in this direction. We've had some experiences to help us see this. It is never what is going on outside of us that leads to our experience. We've got to understand that in order for the power of the miracles we can bring forward to really be experienced. Okay? Nothing in the world has any power to make you ill or sad or weak or frail. You who have the power to dominate all the things you see by merely recognizing what you are. It's not that you take the control and you are macho and you are going to be in charge and you're going to dominate. No. It's that you simply are who you are, and that happens. One of my favorite images is of one of the women in India who has embodied the divine feminine. She's known as, Ma, and that's the one of the titles associated with such women. And she had an ashram that was going to be affected by that tidal wave that hit Indonesia. And she understood what was happening, and she was out there before the wave hit, standing in her red sari with her arms outstretched, being one with the all that is. And the wave did not affect her ashram. Can we begin to take that on? If you go on to the next sentence, it says, as you perceive the harmlessness in them, they will accept your holy will as theirs. This is kind of like, the lion and the lamb stuff that I like to collect. What words are not being said? I'll check that out. But this is, like Crocodile Dundee, who manages to have the critters around him not be attacking him. This is, the movies where, in, the Walt Disney films where the princess characters have all these critters coming around them. We perceive the harmlessness in them, and they accept our holy will as theirs. And what was seen as fearful now becomes a source of innocence and holiness. So if there is any person in our world that we were afraid of, or any institution, or any process, or any action that's going on in the world that we have been trained to be afraid of, we can give up that fear when we realize only our thoughts can cause us any distress. Period. No one out there can. So all the critters become our friends, and all the processes, all the people are source of innocence and holiness. And then it says in the next paragraph, my holy brother, think of this a while. The world you see does nothing. It has no effects at all. It merely represents your thoughts. The world merely represents your thoughts. That's it. That's what it is. You want to know what you think? Look at your world. You want to know what you believe? Look at your experience. There you have it. Nothing more, nothing less. All right? And it will, the next sentence, it will change entirely as you elect to change your mind and choose the joy of God as what you're really, I'm going to say, ready to experience. Okay, so what we've been calling expressing, releasing, replacing, what the Course calls forgiveness, is the change of mind we're talking about. Next sentence, your self is radiant in this holy joy, unchanged, unchanging, and unchangeable, forever and forever. Woo! That is the truth of our being. Next paragraph, the world may seem to cause you pain, and then it'll go on and give you more logic, and then more logic, more logic in the next several paragraphs. Okay? And then there's a paragraph, lay down your arms and come without defense into the quiet place where heaven's peace holds all things still at last. Lay down all thoughts of danger and of fear. Let no attack enter with you. Lay down the cruel sword of judgment you hold against your own throat. And put aside the withering assaults with which you have sought. I wouldn't put that in present tense. You have sought to hide your holiness. And as we say those words, images come up. One of the images that came up for me was the movie Beckett. There's all kinds of things that we can think of in that. Remember the song, I'm going to lay down my sword and shield? That's what it's talking about here. I'm going to lay aside all that I have been bringing forth in my life. There we go. Miscreated, all that I have made, all that I have called forth to defend and protect. Let it go. Let it go. And relax into the peace and the joy that is. The last paragraph. And so, again, we make the only choice that ever can be made between illusion and truth, capital T. And that can be also called pain and joy, hell and heaven, fear and love. Are we going to go with the illusions we've been trained to be considered real? Or are we going to go with truth, which is what is all that exists at the core of our being? And the core of all being. Anyone we look at, the truth is the love and the joy. The ocean, the truth is love and joy. The moose, the lion, the truth is love and joy. So what we do is we give ourselves some time in the morning, just, with both 189 and 190. We give ourselves some time in the morning and the evening. We go into the stillness. We do whatever we need to do. In this case, having a mental image of laying down all of these things that we've created to protect ourselves at the altar, if you will, at that place where we feel the divine presence, where we feel that love. Put it down. And then it says, pain is but sleep, joy is awakening. All right? In the second to the last paragraph. Let our gratitude unto our teacher fill our hearts, if you will. Your teacher being, in this case, the Holy Spirit, as we're free to choose our joy instead of pain. So this is the lesson that is designed to free us forever of any kind of sense of being hurt by life's experiences. May it be that for you now and always. Thanks so much.